Hey, thanks for joining me today. You're listening to The Sit Down with Roman Gray. Seneca, a famous Stoic philosopher, once said, "We are so wasteful with our time. Time is the one thing that we don't get back. We're way more protective with our money than with our time. And our time is way more precious. We freely give up our time for things that don't add to our life, but rather take away from it. We throw money at meaningless designer products just to buy the best new thing shortly after. Or we waste our time on petty little things that add no value to our lives or help us better ourselves. The reason why I am the way I am and constantly try to do as much as I can is that what we have right now is finite. And I don't know if I get another life after this, whether this is my first life, third life, or seventh. I have no idea until I close my eyes, only to never open them again. I'm trying to be here and experience this thing, what we call life, right now. I'm trying to experience all of it. Forget being perfect. Forget trying to make people like you. I want to live. I've always had this obsession with time. I don't know when exactly it started, but it's been many years now. And fuck, does it really annoy people around me. I mean, it annoys me sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. I always find myself worried about time and not getting the most out of it. I feel this pressure to use it as wisely as possible and fulfill this thing we call life. Even some of the simple decisions can cause me to become contemplative for an amount of time that is way too long. This obsession with time seems like it only grows the more I age. Sometimes it feels like a gift, because I'm always thinking about time. It allows me a different perspective on life and all the wonderful things we take for granted and step over as we rush through our fast-paced lives. And other times, it definitely can feel like a burden. It consumes me and I let it get to my head. We view time as concrete for the most part. But you ever stop to think just how relative it seems from person to person? Like there's 20-year-olds who carry themselves and have lived life as if they're 35, but then there are 35-year-olds who still behave like kids. Just food for thought. And it's kind of gross that we're more protective of our money and material things rather than the stuff that really matters. We'll let our minds rot and give up all our time to the wrong things and the wrong people, but think nothing of it. I can get my money back, but I can't do that with time. I feel this immense pressure to strive for more than what I was taught to believe. And with this endeavor means a lot of years, a lot of time. And one of my biggest fears is to waste that precious time. I have yet to meet someone who feels and experiences time in that sense like I do, which is fine. I'm not necessarily looking for someone to match me. But because minutes, seconds, hours, days, months, and years are always on my mind, I can get tiring to be around. And I fear and worry about time just like kids who are scared of the dark, except I have no nightlight. If I ever spend time with someone, know it's precious. The one thing, besides total raw honesty, that I will ever ask of someone is the most precious thing we all have, which is time. This idea for me also applies to even things like birthday gifts. I don't want your money. I don't want meaningless gestures. Give me the greatest thing you can, which is your time, chunks of your life, something you can get back, something you won't get back. That's the greatest thing you can ever give me. And I really mean it. Another thing to address is the shortness of life, or rather, the feeling that life is short. Life is long enough if you know how to use it. It's all too common when you hear that people were just starting to really live life and enjoy themselves right at the very end. And once again, to quote the Stoic philosopher Seneca, it is not that we have a short space of time, but that we waste much of it. We find ourselves so much of the time doing careless acts, pursuing meaningless things which have no end. We're busy pursuing other people's fortunes and visions and never adhering to our own standards. Our vices control us more than we like to admit, consuming more and more of our lives. It's like we have the fears of mortals and yet all the desires of immortals. That's another lovely saying by Seneca. I hope that what you can take away from all this is value your time more than your money. Let our lives not just be wasted time. Don't wait till the end, only just to start living. To finish all this off, as if you haven't heard enough already, here's one last quote from the ever wise Seneca. The part of life we really live is small, for the rest of existence is not life, but merely time. And last but not least, to end today's talk, here's something I wrote a while back. So here it goes. And that's how this thing goes, like a merry-go-round. We go round and round, searching for that place where we know we are loved, where we know there will be arms to catch us and hold us with love and care that stretches beyond eternity. A person or place that is our North Star, giving us a sense of direction and comfort, fostering a space in which we can grow and change. And we're all just trying to find a sense of depth in this vast emptiness around us.